The madness is real.
The return to glory.
Did we just see what we think we just saw?
If that doesn't give you chills, you're never going to get them.
As good as it gets.
Folks, today playoff football returns to Duval and Everbank Stadium. Folks, this crowd has waited 3 long years for this moment, and all season long, this place has been a fortress for the home team, going 7-1 in games played here. And in about an hour, the red-hot 13-4 Jags look to continue their winning ways, but standing in their way, a Buffalo Bills squad that knows exactly how to survive in this situation. Day 2 of Wild Card Weekend, and the playoffs in the AFC start now.
I had a dream, I had a vision, I had to work for this and you didn't. I had to bleed, still got the stitches. I learned to swim from miles of bad bridges. Say you're the poet and the prophet, but you never saw me coming. Always striving for attention, and I got the kind you wanted, and it's killing you now. You wanna spin it around, but the truth with the truth, nothing you can do. I feel it in my bones, won't bring me down, no, not even close. Go ahead and throw your stones, but you can't stop this, you can't stop this.
Well, for Josh Allen, the Super Bowl Odyssey starts today, folks. Could this be the year he gets over the hump? There's no Lamar, no Mahomes, no Burrow, no excuses. He's 0-4 on the road in the playoffs, but we all know that 17 is capable what he can do each and every game.
There's Trevor Lawrence. He's his 5th year. He's had career highs in touchdown passes, touchdown runs. He's in the playoffs right now for just the 2nd time. Remember, the playoffs can bring a finality. They can also be a defining moment for players.
This Bills offense, it starts right here with James Cook. It literally runs through him. He is the tone setter. If Buffalo wins today, it's because James Cook controlled the temperature early.
Jacoby Myers traded to the Jags on November 4th. Numbers, they've been solid, but his impact, immeasurable. The Jags are 8-1 since making that trade.
And hello, folks, and welcome to the NFL Today presented by Jeep. I'm James Brown. Yes, indeed, back here inside of Studio 43 with my esteemed colleagues. They would be the Hall of Fame coach, Bill Cowher, the multi-talented Emmy Award winner, Nate Burleson, and, folks, the former league MVP, and now the Atlanta Falcons' new president of football.
Hey, congratulations. Thank you, fellas.
So we sit here like next year and we get to watch your team over there. Can I just say, like, when I define and I have to sit there and talk about what I'm looking at when I see Atlanta Falcons football, what words should be coming out of my mouth?
Oh, that's a great question, Coach. The good part is that it's coming out of your mouth, and we're talking about that this time of the year. I think that's the vision for where we want to be. You want to be in the mix, in the playoffs, and it's been too long there, and we're going to work really hard and find the right people to get us back into that position to be successful. But you guys know it, football, it's about the people. The building is about the people. There's a lot of really good people in that building that are already there. It starts at the top with Arthur Blank, and I'm fortunate to be in this position, excited about the opportunity and ready to get started.
Listen, selfishly,
man, embrace the opportunity.
And selfishly, we want you to stick around here because you're one hell of a talent, but it's a position that you have to take, and we're proud of you, man. Looking forward to what you're going to do in that building.
Thank you,
Your
guys.
new position. And last thing I'll say, the Burleson boys will be available for the 2029 draft. So, we'll talk around then.
Long-term vision.
There you go.
Got to have the long-term vision.
Congrats again,
Thank
man.
you.
Hey, listen, but let's talk about this game. The wild card weekend has been fantastic, but this could shape out to be the best game of the weekend. We have the Bills, the Jags. The Bills have been knocking on the door of success for so long. And the Jacksonville Jags, this is an opportunity to shift their franchise with this type of win and really change the perception of what we think about this squad. And I have to give a shout out to Duval. Being at home, this is a big deal, Coach. This is a game where one false start, one delayed snap, one play, a misstep in January can change everything. For the Bills, this is pressure. For For the Jags, this is an opportunity. That's why this game is so compelling.
And I look at this game, too, from a Buffalo Bills standpoint. The game within the game is Sean McDermott and Bobby Babish, the challenge they have. Because in the last 4 weeks, the Jacksonville Jaguars offense has been the highest scoring offense in the National Football League, with Travis Etienne, a core of receivers, Brenton Strange, a tight end, and the running back right now, and Trevor Lawrence, who looks like Josh Allen in terms of how he's using his legs.
Yeah.
He is playing at the highest level yet that he's played, and talking about in his 5th year right now in National Football League. Liam Cohen has got him playing at a very, very high level of confidence.
This is about Josh Allen. This is about Josh Allen and what he can do as a player, taking the football team, putting them on his back. It's my belief he's got to have a monster performance today for the Buffalo to go out there and get the win. He can do it. He's had those types of performances, 5, 6 touchdown games. I think he's going to have to keep pace with this Jags offense. They have been explosive. He can do it. This could be an incredible storyline for the Buffalo Bills making a run on the road, which they have not done.
Well, Nate set an expectation if today's game can even match the first 2 of the wild card weekend, that'd be pretty doggone good to say so. Hey, folks, time now for the game report presented by Verizon. And for more on our matchup, let's check in with our 2-time Emmy Award-winning colleague. She will be the incomparable Tracy Wolfson. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, JB. You guys mentioned it. This is going to be an intriguing quarterback matchup. You have Trevor Lawrence, who has won the last 8 straight, 24 total touchdowns, just 5 interceptions during that time. I asked him what changed. He said it was a conversation with Liam Cohen during the bye week, and Cohen just told him, let it rip. Since then, he has been loose and confident. As for Josh Allen, he's been on this stage, but he's been dealing with that right foot injury. Told us he's rested, and offensive coordinator Joe Brady said, you're going to see playoff Josh Allen. Between the adrenaline and the medicine, that's who you're going to see out here today. And I asked him why. He said because he's the ultimate competitor. He throws his body all over the place, and he's going to do whatever he can to win this game. JB?
All right, Tracy, thank you so much, and knock him alive as usual. All right, folks, we've got plenty more on tap for today, so don't go anywhere because the NFL Today continues right after this.
Coming up on the wild card edition of the NFL Today, Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence have helped carry their teams to the postseason. But which QB will continue their quest for the Lombardi Trophy after today's showdown?
Set this tone, man.
Liam Cohen has flipped the script in Jacksonville in only 1 season. And you'll talk to Coach Cowher before today's big matchup with the Bills. And we'll get a live report from today's NFC wildcard game in the city of brotherly love between the Eagles and 49ers. All that and more when the wild card edition of the NFL Today continues on CBS. The NFL Today on CBS is presented by Jeep. There's only one.
Time now for a pregame HQ delivered by Domino's.
I'll ask everything you got for 60 minutes.
James Cook, the brilliant run.
The cook is in the kitchen.
Set this tone, man.
ETN to the ETN zone. The beat has been released.
Lawrence delivers his strike. Put that on your highlight tape. Boy, this team's playing terrific football right now.
That's Buffalo Bills football, man. Good job.
And folks, we have a big-time wildcard matchup coming up, and joining us live from Jacksonville, where they will be calling today's action, our friends Jim Nance and Tony Romo. Hello, Jim.
Hello, friends. I just want to say off the top here to Matt, we're going to miss you, man. I'm so proud of what you've done in your 3 years at CBS. Everybody raves about you, your class, your integrity, your preparation. Good for the Atlanta Falcons. I know what they're doing. They're going to be great, but we're going to miss you big time.
I'm excited about it, Matt. Proud of you, buddy. Go get it.
Thank you, guys.
We're doing an Atlanta game here soon.
That's right. Get down to our stadium. Come call a game.
Yeah, that's a deal. Love to. And then I know you'll get things rolling. We'll be there many times, I'm guessing, in the future. Tony, this game with these 2 quarterbacks, Josh Allen gets so much attention, but what Trevor Lawrence did over this second half of the season, pretty amazing. They've won 8 straight coming into this game.
It reminded me of Josh Allen from last year when he won the MVP. I mean, the way Trevor Lawrence has played has been outstanding, as well as anyone in the National Football League. This is going to be an incredible game. I think you've got a team who's very complete in Jacksonville, but you've got the best quarterback maybe in the playoffs coming in. This is a matchup I want to be at.
I know. We're both excited about this matchup. Just a quick thought about the kickers, Tony. So much attention to the Cam Little. He's got that super leg. Matt Prater's had a quad injury. We've watched him warm up. He's going to be good to go. This is one of those games that could come down to one of those two.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, I expect a close game here because you got a complete team who I didn't see many weaknesses in when you watch the tape all week in Jacksonville. Then you got the best quarterback who has a running game. It's just like, whoa, this is a lot. But it's going to come down to possibly a kicker. And we saw last night's game in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was about kicking in a lot of ways. So today, whichever kicker actually kicks the best might win this game.
Here, finally.
JB?
All right, Jim and Tony, let's talk about these two coaches. Two different paths. You have McDermott, who is focused on kind of rewriting the narrative of what we know about this recent Buffalo Bills squad. And then on the other side, Liam Cohen, who has done a fantastic job with his young squad. What are you seeing from these two coaches?
Well, you got Liam Cohen has done a remarkable job. Such a turnaround here from 13 losses to 13 wins. And his team definitely has, it's one of those cliches in sports, the disrespect, the chip on the shoulder. It goes back to 776 BC and the ancient Olympic Games. That's how long that's been a topic in sports. But it is real here. This team feels underappreciated coming in.
I think you're exactly right. He has exuded that confidence, and he's brought in the knowledge of football, which has really unleashed Trevor Lawrence a little bit, the ability to see things before the snap, understand where to go with his eyes, and then he's made the team have that confidence you talk about. Jacksonville's always been under the radar. Not anymore. They believe that they can win this game. And in the past, I don't think most people thought they could. I'm telling you, they can win this game today.
All right, Jim and Tony, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep, and thank you guys so very much. Go knock them alive today. Coach, your thoughts about this?
I think we talked about these two quarterbacks. I think the biggest thing to me is talk about these two defenses. You got Joey Bosa and Greg Rousseau, who are going to be talked about trying to keep Trevor Lawrence in the pocket like you're talking about with Josh Allen. But really the turnaround that Anthony Campanelli has made with his Jacksonville defense. A year ago, they were last in the National Football League, only 9 takeaways. Right now, they are second in the National Football League, a lot like we saw with the Chicago Bears. They've had 31 takeaways. They may give out some yards, but they take the football away. And so this is going to be a kind of a back and forth. And I agree with Tony when he said this might be the most complete team offensively, defensively, and kicking game. But again, you have the other guy on the other side that can put the cape on, that being Josh Allen, and he can make a lot of those things disappear.
Yeah, you're right about that. These two defenses, they're trying to disrupt the timing of each quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, we all know that Josh Allen, he kind of thrives in the chaos a little bit. When things break down, he can put the cape on and be fantastic and use his legs, use his arm. He can cut you. Really gas you with a big play. Now, if you would have asked me in the past, what happens when Trevor Lawrence's offense is disrupted in the pocket, I would say that timing is thrown off and the offense doesn't have flow. But that's not what I've seen lately. Trevor Lawrence also has thrived within the chaos. When he is flushed outside the pocket, he can get you. We're talking about with his legs, he can make big plays, but he has shown the ability to use his arm and hit guys on a dime or throw it deep over your head. So I just feel like the disruption of these quarterbacks and how they respond to the pockets collapsing is where this game will be won and lost, Matt.
Yeah, and I think it's the ability to handle the pressure of the postseason. This is a Buffalo team that's been through the fire a bunch in recent postseasons, have made deep runs into it. It's different. When you get to this time of the year, it's different. Your body feels different. Sometimes your mind is running in different directions. The ability to lower that pulse, to find your rhythm, especially for a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who has been there before but doesn't have the same type of experience that Josh Allen has, getting into your rhythm, getting into a flow, not trying to do too much too early, I think is going to be big.
Not trying to play against Josh Allen.
Yes.
Josh Allen, again, not trying to keep up with Trevor Lawrence. And I think that's the biggest thing we've seen. When Josh Allen stays within himself, he doesn't try to do too much. This football team is hard to beat because I think James Cook is one of the best runners in the National Football League. A big challenge today for him. But for Trevor Lawrence, he's been to another level.
Yes.
James Cook, to me, is like this guy's one of the best running backs. He's a slasher. James Cook is one of those guys, to me, that run defense, we're going to talk about it with an eye vision later on, but James Cook, he's looking to work.
That's actually Brandon Cooks right there.
That's Brandon Cooks right there. But
you're right about James Cook, Coach.
James Cook is special.
I think the other thing, to keep an eye on today is situational football. We have seen it early in the playoffs. It is magnified this time of the year. How you close out the half how you start the second half, what you're doing at the end of the game, finishing drives in the red area. Touchdowns are essential, but the points are key too. We've seen that, not taking points. The decision to be aggressive and conservative, all of that stuff gets magnified this time of the year. Sean McDermott, lots of experience in those type of situations. Liam Cohen, new to it. It's going to be interesting to see the two approaches from the different head coaches.
You know, you talk about the decisions being conservative versus aggressive, and that usually is what we talk about when it comes to the offense. But what about on the defense side of the ball? We're talking those crucial second and third downs. How are you going to decide to go after the quarterback? Do you heat him up, send the blitz, and then leave yourself vulnerable on the back end? Or do you rush four and then drop everybody else and try to cloud those windows? I love that we are going to witness the ultimate chess game, Coach, and we talk about it all the time.
Yes.
It's not just about the OCs, it's also the defense coordinators.
Yeah, and I think, again, with both these quarterbacks, you rather have them in the pocket than out of the pocket because they make plays. And the other thing that happens, we saw yesterday, it's the fourth quarter. We saw Matthew Stafford take a game-winning drive. We saw Caleb Williams come alive with over 150 yards in the fourth quarter last night going against the Packers. So as this game evolves, as you get into the game, the ability to adapt and adjust and make sure that you put yourself in a situation where you don't get caught up in the moment, you don't panic, because finality's there. Playoffs are different, man.
Yeah.
There's no next week. So you're going to leave nothing in the bag, but at the same time, stay within yourself.
No doubt about it, Coach. All right. Each week on Nickelodeon, join yours truly and my guy, Young Dylan, as we turn the highlights into slime lights and find out who takes home the slimiest trophy in the land, the MVP. All that and more on NFL Slime Time Wednesdays at 5 Eastern and Thursdays on Paramount Plus.
And here comes Trevor Lawrence. He's getting ready for the game. We're talking about a guy who's had a career year. It's been him. And his coach has brought the very best of him, that being Liam Cohen. I actually caught up with him before the game this morning.
All right, fans, getting ready for the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl games powered by Verizon. Watch the league's top stars face off in an AFC versus NFC flag football showdown. Catch all the action on ESPN and Disney XD. That's on Tuesday, February 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, folks, in his first year at the helm, Liam Cohen has transformed the Jaguars, but he also knows it's not easy to win in this league. Just this week, he voiced how much he respects Sean McDermott and the culture that he's built in Buffalo. And earlier today, Liam Cohen chopped it up with our Hall of Fame coach, Bill Cowher.
Hi, Liam. Hey, listen, as I look at your football team, and you're 4-3 at the bye, but since then, you've been 9-1. And to me, the most significant difference in you guys, Liam, has been the play of your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, and his legs. What have you done to take him to this next level and to have him feel this comfortable and this confident in this offense?
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, Trevor being able to extend plays, use his legs, whether it's running or extending and moving out of the pocket and finding people down the field, has helped create some explosives. Early in the year, we were kind of just playing within each play, right? And sometimes you're not going to get a big plays and be able to get open in the timing and rhythm of a normal play. And Trevor's been able to use his athleticism as a weapon. I mean, he's a big, strong dude that can run. He's been able to keep his eyes down the field and create some explosives off schedule. And man, when he is playing on time and in rhythm in the pocket, he's doing a great job. So you know, as a defense, it's hard to defend that long, and you make him defend every blade of grass. So he's been doing a great job with that.
You know, the other thing that happened along the same time, I think a week after that bye, you picked up Jacoby Myers. Tell me what he has brought to that receiving room, and it almost feels like it opened up the field for you on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, that's another great one. Jacoby's been a phenomenal pros pro, former quarterback that the game just makes sense to. And spatial awareness, leverage, coverage understanding. He's got great hands. Trevor trusts him over the middle of the field specifically. And then that's allowed BTJ, Parker Washington, Strange, those guys to kind of just do what they do best and attack the areas of the field that they're comfortable attacking. And, man, Trevor and Jacoby have a great chemistry. It started from really the first week that Jacoby got here, and ever since then, man, it's just continued to take off. So can't say enough good things about Jacoby. Also, what he does without the ball, how he blocks. The standard in that room now is completely altered. So really appreciative of Jacoby being here.
You know, Liam, the last thing I want to ask you this is I know this is your first year with this football team. They haven't been to the playoffs since 22. What was the message last night to the team about this game today, the fact that playoffs do bring finality to it, and how you want them to go out there and play and display their skills today?
Yeah, the message was be you. You know, that's all we've been kind of saying from the beginning is be you guys, man. That's been plenty enough, guys, and that'll be enough today. Is just every one of these guys' personal edges. What is their specific edge as a player? We talked about in training camp, and for these guys to find that edge, identify that edge, and use that edge, and that'll ultimately become the identity of our team, and that has become the identity of our team. And so many good things have occurred this season. These guys just go out today, be them, be special, who they are, and the rest will take care of itself.
Liam, listen, you've had one hell of a year. Good luck today, and thank you for doing this.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for having me on.
You know, I think the biggest thing to take away is Liam Cohen is going to make this game personal, and I think he's done a great job of kind of relating to his football team. Talking about the bye coming at the right time, right? 4-3, and you kind of have a feel for your team, and more importantly, a feel for your quarterback. You know, I think basically he said, hey, Trevor, just play and quit worrying about making mistakes.
Be you.
Just be you. And I think that their team is playing like that.
A positive reinforcement, man.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been fantastic, and we look at the numbers right here. You talk about it, 8-0 in the last 8 games, 8.2 yards per attempt. That's huge. 24 total touchdowns, 6 turnovers. But it was Liam's answers, right? In that interview right there, it was his legs. He started with it. Look at the spin move out of there. The athleticism to be able to extend on 3rd and 8 and then lower your shoulder and get the first down. That's demoralizing for a defense. Then you look at this. He's going to climb in the pocket right here. Everything is covered. What does he do? He presses the line of scrimmage. The threat of run pulls the defender off. His eyes staying down the field, opens up the wide receiver, completion. Good game right there. And I think that's allowed him to get more comfortable in the rhythm and timing passing.
But you love this play.
I love this play. A little play action. Brenton Strange in the backfield. He's going to make this look like inside zone. Coming back to cut off that backside backer with the cross-sip block, but he's going to sneak behind him. Trevor, in rhythm, in timing, layering that football over the top. Beautiful throw and catch. This is the best we have seen from him in the pocket, and I believe it's because of his ability to use his legs has made him feel more comfortable.
Yeah, and let's talk about the other side, this Bills offense. Listen, the foundation of this offense, maybe the foundation of this team, is the run game for the Bills, and it's about scheme and skill. Let's take the sky cam on this one. Watch the fullback and the tight end already in motion. They serve as lead blockers, and they are going to get up to the next level. And once James Cook gets on your linebackers or your safeties, he's gone. There's not a DB in the game that can get him or catch him from behind. All right, check out this play. This is beautiful. This is about vision and then decisions. He sees 2 linebackers flush right in front of him. He makes a cut immediately and then recognizes the angle of the safety. He says, okay, I'm going to cut back. Watch his eyes shoot to the right side of the field. Helmet facing this way. Already seeing the defender. I'm cutting back all the way to the other side. And like I said, with that speed, you're not going to catch him. All right, so you give him the ball that much. When you move him, what do guys do? They move. Look up there to your left. 3 individuals moving to the left. Josh sells it. Takes his helmet to where he wants everybody else to go, and then uses his legs. A couple of blockers, they get body on body on body. But then Josh, he's going to use his body to finish the play. He gets stopped at the 3-yard line, and then he uses his athletic ability, his muscles, along with the push of some of his offensive linemen to score. This running game is fantastic. The question that everybody's asking, Coach, how do you stop it?
Oh, they're good. You know what? They're good on the other side of the ball, too, because look at this right here. The best in the offense in terms of running the football, the Buffalo Bills. The best in the defense of stopping the run is the Jacksonville Jaguars. You see it right there. Something's going to get. Why? Great gap integrity. Foyer Urulicon. Middle linebacker. Watch him just near the back. Because he trusts the lineman in front of him. They're getting past. Everyone's got a gap. It bounces out, bounce out, and you got everybody to the football.
That's a great play.
Okay, then you got the pass rush. And I think we're going to see this. 5 guys, because you know we give Josh Allen a rush lane. Josh, Hines, Allen up top, second in the National Football League in terms of pressures. He gets right here on the quarterback, C.J. Stroud. And you know what? The other thing Anthony Campanelli has done, these guys can take the football away. Last in the league a year ago, they're second in the league this year, second in interceptions. Devin Lloyd is a turnover machine. Right here, the play action. They play a lot of zone, 70% zone. Josh Allen's going to see that, so he better be eyes aware of these defenders. They've done a great job of changing the complex of the game by taking the football away.
I think the thing that jumps off the tape right there on the defensive side of the ball is the discipline.
Yes.
The discipline in the gap integrity, the discipline in coverage in your zone spots. Really good football.
I love hearing you guys get fired up talking that kind of stuff here. But you know what? We talk about Trevor Lawrence. I mean, to me, he is emblematic of a crop of young quarterbacks who have, I think, an opportunity in this postseason to define this postseason. You guys know the word all too well. I think they are excellent examples of perseverance. I think about the young quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young, Jordan Love, and even the now injured Daniel Jones. Despite the steady spate of criticism that they've gotten in their young years, they have persevered. Admittedly, Mr. Quarterback, doing something that's not easy in terms of trying to perfect that. They refuse to give up, and I'm loving the fact that they are eventually realizing some degree of success with an opportunity to get even better.
You know, the fact is, too, that no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. There's a great opportunities for these young quarterbacks to plant their, to cement their place in history.
Couldn't agree with you more. It's being ready for that opportunity. Yeah. These guys have persevered. They are ready for this opportunity.
Yeah, and you said redefine the postseason, and for a lot of these guys, redefine the narrative of their own careers.
No question. No question about it. All right, folks. Hey, another great example of that perseverance, Jalen Hurts. Folks, when we come back, we'll take you out to Philadelphia with Evan Washburn. That's when the NFL Today continues after this.
There's definitely a sense of urgency. Our season's on the line now. This is the playoffs, man.
We're not going to be judged off of how it got done. We're going to be judged off if we did it or not.
San Francisco is back in front. He's gone! Touchdown! 49ers! Good job, doing it.
Philadelphia, as division champs, is going to the playoffs.
Touchdown, Eagles! Wow! Are you not entertained?
This game kind of feels like a prelude to the Super Bowl.
All right, folks, the excitement of Wild Card Week continues right after our game as Brock Purdy and the Niners look to pull off the upset in Philly, that against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles on Fox. Then tonight in Foxborough, it will be Drake May and the number 2 seeded Patriots hosting Justin Herbert and the Chargers on NBC. Finally, tomorrow night in Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers try to knock off C.J. Stroud and the Texans. That's in a 4 versus 5 battle on ESPN and ABC. All right, and for more on the Niners and Eagles, let's tap in with our own Evan Washburn, Mr. Clean, who is in Philadelphia. Hello, Evan.
Hey, JB, the calm before the storm here in Philly, about 4 hours from kickoff between the 49ers and Eagles, just meeting for the second time since that wild NFC title game in the 2022 season. And similar to that day, this game is littered with all pros on either side. But the matchup to watch in this one may be with 2 play callers. Kyle Shanahan's offense against Vic Fangio's defense, arguably the 2 best on their respective sides of the ball. When you look at Kyle Shanahan this season, it may be his best work. When you factor in the amount of players that have been in and out of the lineup for the 49ers, most notably quarterback Brock Purdy, who's been out at portions of this season, a total of 8 games. And now he faces his friend and nemesis in Vic Fangio, who has this Eagles defense dialed in since week 10, statistically the best in the NFL. And as you can see, Fangio has had the better of this matchup since Kyle was the head coach in San Francisco. Now they meet in the playoffs for the first time. It's going to be a fun chess match to watch all game long.
All right, Evan, thank you so very much as we come back inside to our quarterback, Matt Ryan, to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think Evan is spot on. You talk about Kyle Shanahan going versus Vic Fangio. He has struggled. We saw the 10.3 points per game when going against him. Coach, you said it, though, as we were talking off air. You just really don't feel like Kyle's going to have 2 off games offensively. And I expect this one to be a back and forth. On the other side, though, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I have a feeling these guys, Jalen has been clutch in the playoffs and in their previous playoff runs. And Saquon, the year's been a little bit quiet, a little bit understated. I could see him having a breakout game today and running all over the place in Philly.
I feel you on that.
Chargers, Patriots.
Yeah, you look at this team, the Chargers, of course, all eyes will be on Herbert, but on the defense side of the ball, they are fast, they have speed, they know how to close those defensive windows. So I want to talk about Drake May and what he does up against that defense. You listen, this offense is built off of long drives, short completions, selective shots down the field when they can get them. So he's going to have to play like an MVP, and he's been doing that most of the season if he wants to get past the Chargers today.
Monday night, my goodness, Coach, Houston and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're talking about the Houston Texans. They had 9 straight wins and a #1 defense in the league. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, guess what? They get back DK Metcalf, who was suspended for 2 games, and he'll come back. And you got Aaron Rodgers, who loves to hit him with the deep ball. The running game with Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren that can set up that play action, and they got to be able to do that and run the football, play action, quick game to take that defense off. But just remember this: while Houston may not be the team you want to play in the playoffs, Pittsburgh on a Monday night may not be the place you want to play. Last time Pittsburgh lost a game on Monday night in Pittsburgh, 1991. How old were you, Matt?
6. I was 6 at that time.
23 straight wins for Pittsburgh, I'm saying.
Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah, listen, he's the Jaguars' all-time leader in sacks. He wins with power, speed, and effort. It might come down to this Josh Allen being better than their Josh Allen.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Geico. It feels good to Geico. Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by there's only one.
And this week, the Bills partner with M&T Bank for the Believe Together, there you go, playoff rally across Western New York. That to bring the community together and get fans ready for the upcoming playoff run.
Josh Allen fires into the end zone. Touchdown! What a touchdown run by Allen. Touchdown, Lawrence. He is a scoring machine. Touchdown for Trevor Lawrence. Fires into the end zone. About to be caught. Touchdown, Josh Allen with a laser. Touchdown, Buffalo. To the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown! Touchdown! Caught. Touchdown! That's going to be a touchdown pass. What a beautiful throw by Josh Allen. What an amazing season. How good is that? Are you kidding me?
Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence are 2 of the league's most gifted stars under center, and the numbers this season are oh so close. Check it out. Lawrence has the edge in total yards, but Allen has been more efficient with 1 more touchdown and 2 fewer turnovers. And one of the biggest stories of the week certainly came from a non-playoff team. That's when the Ravens parted ways with longtime head coach John Harbaugh. The franchise's all-time leader in wins, Harbaugh leaves the Ravens after 18 seasons, 12 playoff appearances, and a Super Bowl title.
Wait, where's Matt at?
Matt's already in his president of football role.
They're looking for a new coach.
Absolutely. Is he working the phones?
Hey, Matt, you find anybody yet?
No comment.
You know, just to get back to John Harbaugh for a second, I had a chance to talk to John this week, and I think you look at his situation. I think everything has a life cycle. He's got tremendous respect for Steve Bisciotti, the owner. That, he says, well, they will always be friends. I think he's very, very excited about his next chapter of coaching. He absolutely plans on coaching next year. He wants to take some time off to see what else is out there, opportunity-wise, and make sure he's got a clear understanding, clear vision, and just a chance to reflect before he ponders moving forward. So he'll have a lot of opportunities to pick a team, move forward. John Harbaugh will be on the sidelines next year.
It's unfortunate because we're in an era where it's not just about getting into the playoffs, it's about winning a Super Bowl, especially for a coach that knows what it's like to win a Super Bowl. I don't agree with it because when you think about some of their late game collapses in the postseason over the last handful of years, those weren't coaching errors. They were player errors. And I'm not blaming the players. I'm a former player. I'm not going to be on national TV dogging those guys like that. But there were some moments where guys either fumbled or dropped or made a mistake. And you can't point to the head coach and say, that's on him. But I do get it, though. Teams want results, and you have to move on. And sometimes I feel like change is good for the organization and for the coach. Can you imagine him with another squad, young, hungry, new money, with the opportunity to build it all again? I know he's going to land somewhere, and they will be successful.
And I would just say this. I think the National Football League is about chasing trends. I think we did that as coaches. I think front office does that, too, in regards to coaching. So you had 3 first-year head coaches, that being Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, and Mike Vrabel, who turned around their teams from 4- and 5-win teams to now being in the playoffs. So they can get another coach and feel like they can turn this around quickly.
Right.
I think that's led to the 8 openings, and I'm not so sure there's not going to be more before this is all said and done.
And as you guys have helped me understand, I understand the dynamic of football, the sports, fandom, scribes, and the like. but I truly hope that one appreciates long-term success, which ought to be appreciated significantly. Steve Bisciotti does do that, but let's give them a tip of the cap because it's hard to turn an organization around and maintain that success and in the building, as you often talk about. Hey, talk about this, Nate. A little bit of screaming down there, and what's the name?
And Trevor Lawrence has a big opportunity to send a message to the rest of the NFL world.
The NFL Today on CBS is presented by Jeep. There's only one.
So as we welcome you back to the NFL Today, you know what? This is unscripted. Matt wasn't expecting this. But you know what? So many people have been coming out of their purchase, if you will, to give our guy a big hug because they're going to miss you. What are you going to miss about us?
Oh, man. JB. No, let me speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player and it's over. There's a finality to it and you have to move on. And there's this empty void in your life, of filling that space of teammates, the locker room. And that's difficult. I think that's difficult to deal with. And, when I left, I was so lucky to be given the opportunity by David Burson and by CBS to become a part of this team. And my first year was, with the crew on the road and we were calling games. And when you're out on the road calling games, you become a team and a group and sort of a traveling circus. And I'm thankful to that crew. And then the last 2 years, you guys have become my team. And it's helped me a lot because it's not easy. And I think former players, we can all, and coaches and people in that space, we can all relate to that. But you guys have made it better for me and realize that, there's life after and you keep going. And now, again, to be able to get back into that environment in the organization, that I spent so much time with, it was one of one. And I'm excited about that. But I love you guys.
Love you too.
I appreciate it. I love everybody who's back here, everybody who's a part of it behind that no one can see. This is the best group that you could be a part of. I think we do it better than anybody else on air.
That's a fact.
And I am so appreciative of my friends back here. So.
We talk about your three boys so much. Was Sarah okay with all of this?
She's the boss, JB. You know.
Hey.
Sarah is the boss.
She's the real president.
Yeah, she's the real president. Make no mistake, I'm the vice president.
Vice president. I love that. Hey, folks. Hey, turn playoff mode on with FanDuel, where all customers are getting boosts and other rewards to use on same game parlays and more throughout the playoffs. All right, playoffs that is. All right, fellas, the question is for today's game, same deal, Coach.
So I got Parker Washington, 50-plus receiving yards. In the last 3 weeks, he's been targeted 30 times. So trust me, Parker Washington has got 347 yards the last 3 weeks. So I think getting 50-plus yards today, I think that's would seem like it'd be a good bet.
Yeah, after the news about Matt leaving us for that fantastic position as president, I'm over on FanDuel trying to figure out how to put the house on the Falcons for next season's Super Bowl. No, I'm joking. Today, I'm going with Josh Allen for a touchdown and also James Cook. I'm double dipping 100 total yards.
All right, Matt is out of this one, but not this one here. Folks, things are just about to get going in Jacksonville, so I have to ask my guys, who comes out on top today, the Bills or the Jags?
Well, the Bills and the Jags played back in 2017 in a playoff game, and I picked the Bills back then. They lost to Jacksonville 10-3, but today I think Buffalo gets it with Josh Allen puts the cape on, 31-27, Buffalo over Jacksonville.
I believe this is going to be a tough one for the Bills. Being on the road against Jacksonville, who is one of the hottest teams in the business, I'm going with the Jacksonville Jags to win this one, 27-24.
Wow. I look at the balance across all three phases for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that overcomes it today. Josh Allen puts in a great performance, but the Jags win 38-31.
Hey, Coach, did you mention the last time these two teams played back in 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
There it is right here, baby.
I get it.
Throwback. Get it.
So I picked it. It was Jacksonville and Buffalo, and I picked Buffalo. So that was, so I think I'm going to pick them again. I think we're going to win this time.
I just wrote this down. Who were the quarterbacks in that game then? Do you guys remember?
Blake Bortles and Tyrod Taylor.
Hey, folks, folks, we will now get some quick final thoughts, starting with Matt.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to watching this one. Josh Allen's got a chance to do something, put the team on his back and go. Trevor Lawrence, an opportunity to make a statement to the league about what he is as a player. Can't wait to see it.
As you sit at home or at a bar, wherever you're watching this game, pay attention to when these quarterbacks leave the pocket. That is where this game will be decided.
Yeah, I think being able to finish drives, and you can't finish drives, you kick a field goal, and no one's got the better field goal kicker in National Football League. Damn Little.
Yeah.
He kicked a 67-yarder before, so that could be the difference in this game, but I think Josh Allen puts that cape on today.
All right, folks, we'll see you back here at halftime. But first, we kick off just a few minutes away.
We will get you out to Jacksonville for Bills Jags Nation.